Hello member, welcome to our exam preparation for paper 1. So we begin our journey to revise for paper 1 and we start with algebra. So we focus on the module of algebra. So this is episode 1. This is your first lesson, your first video. So here's my question. In your past preparations of exams, what was your focus? Were you worried about the knowledge, the content, that is the topics, and have you ever considered the issue of time management? That is, do I practice to be fast enough so that I am able to finish my entire paper in time, having been able to answer all the questions to my satisfaction? So in Maths So Easy, that's what I focus on. I focus on time management as well as accuracy. So in this session, I want you to take a different approach as I give you the questions. Here are the questions. Right, so in the exams, we are taken through the entire paper by the invigilator. Thereafter, we are given 10 minutes reading time. So this time, I want you to start to internalize a strategy. For that 10 minutes, I don't want you to use it to go through the entire paper, all the questions, because you've done that with the invigilator. So for that 10 minutes, you focus on the first 2 questions that you are going to answer. Then you will first look at the second one just to have an idea of what is required there and what you're going to do, and if it's going to be easy for you to start with that one. Okay, and then if you feel that you will still maintain that second one as the second one to write, then you go back to question 1 if question 1 is the one that you're going to start with. Then when you get to question 1, I want you to do this now. You are going to intentionally answer the questions in your mind. So you look at 1.1.1, you look at the factors that you're going to write and what will be the solution, so that when they say start, you simply write the question and then you do the factorization and your solutions and you are quick. Okay. Then 1.1.2, normally sometimes it is not arranged as in this one, so you'd need to take consideration of the fact that do I need to rearrange it? Then you see that you're going to, and then what is going to be when you've done that, right? So in this one it's already done, so you know what you need to do for this one. Then 1.1.3, you do the same. You say, right, okay, I must do this first, and then you try to see if you can work out the factors in your mind. Same thing with 1.1.4. What is the strategy there? Will I be able to do this quickly, and so forth? Then you get to 1.2, which is going to be my first equation, and which variable do I choose, and all of that. Okay, then when you answer, I want you to look at your clock so that when you get to this 1.2 and you finish with it, you record your time. This is before you go to the next questions. Here they come. Right, then you look at these ones, you ask yourself, what is it that they are looking for? Does it make sense to me? You try to see if you can find the answers in your brain as well. And if you are happy, you can say, okay, I'm going to attempt them as well, and then you are ready to start. Okay, if you're unable to do 1.3 and 1.4, it's not a train smash. These are not normally part of my time management focus. I'll do separate videos for these ones, and you will be able to find the solutions and the knowledge on how to tackle them. Okay, right, so the focus is on 1.1 up to 1.2. Alrighty, so pen and paper ready, everything, calculator, no disturbance. You tell them at home you are writing an exam so that you focus and you are time conscious. Righty, so enjoy your first lesson, and then when you're done, you view the lesson, compare the time that you took with the time in the video, then mark yourself, see how many marks you got for the first attempt. Then you listen or you view the reflection that I do after I'm done with the paper, so that you get to get the rationale behind this project, and then you can prepare for the next videos. Alrighty, enjoy your first lesson. Go for it. Alrighty, member, how did it go? Your first one? You were rusty, a bit slow, or were you good like that? Or am I gonna be too good for you? Let's see. Right, so our first one, warm up. So we said we're targeting up to 1.2, isn't it? 20 marks. Right, so they give you your 10 minutes reading time after scrutinizing the paper with the invigilator. You've checked your questions, you have in your mind some of the answers, then you're gonna go for it, isn't it? Okay, right, so I'm gonna start. You can also check your clock to see how I do until I say I'm stopping at 1.2. Right, here I go. Right, so when they say start, I go to my question. Okay, so I'm just going to assume that I start with question 1, even though I don't start with question 1. Check my videos, you'll see what I start with when I start my exam. Okay, so the examiners were a bit stingy there because they only gave me 2 marks, yet I must still do what? I must still factorize, isn't it? So 5 and 4 gives me a 20, and I want the negative there. Then my x is 5 or x is negative 4. Done. Okay, few seconds. Then here they gave me only 3 marks, but at least the equation was already in the standard form. Then I know that when I get an irrational root situation and they say decimals, it means they are taking me here. Okay, right, so what am I doing? You are wondering, isn't it? Okay, so this is my negative b, then b negative, then my a and my c and my a. Okay, so it is the quadratic formula. I am not wasting time with all those A, B's, and C's. And I know that when I get here, my solutions will be x is equals to 1 and x is equals to the other. Then here, I can use my calculator. Right, I have a 121 and a, right, let's use the calculator there. So it's 8 times 7. Right, you see, this is what can happen as well to you in an exam. Don't forget. Okay, set up your calculator. All right, so I like that we are starting with something that we need to be sensitive to. Okay, so I have a 56 and it is taken from 1 to 1. What will I have? I will have a 65. Okay, so it means there I have a 65. Then why do I take this root that I've just taken there instead of putting everything? It's for this. When I go to my calculator, my steps are reduced. Okay, right, so my first answer, it is 4,77. Look at that. Even when I change my sign, I don't travel too much. Okay, then what do I have? 0,74. Then I'm done. Okay, Right, so that's how you can fly in your exam. Right, so then I go to this one. What is this one? This is a right, inequality. Right, I'm gonna flip so that you can see me start nicely. So 1.13, then they gave me how many marks? 5. Right, so it means they are starting to be generous. Why is that? Maybe we'll see. So I have 5x squared, then I have negative 21x, then I have a plus 4 is greater than what? It's now greater than 0. Okay, right, so it means they want to see if I know my factorization, or they are going to award me for the quadratic formula. This 5x cannot have any other factors except 5 and 1. Then I want a what? I want a 21. Okay, right, I didn't write that one nicely. So I wanted 21, and it must have 2 negatives, isn't it? Then I can have a 20 with these 2, then I can have a 1 with these 2. Then I'm done. Okay, so it means my solution, I can quickly say x is equals to, no, right, I am doing what now? Inequalities, isn't it? Okay, then my function is a positive, and I'm looking for greater. I know from training, right, that I have to do this notation. Okay, that's what we are going to do together. Right, so 4 is the positive one, and then 105 is the also positive, but it's the smallest. So this is what I do. Okay, right, so they have my critical values as my solution. I can go to the next one. I don't need to waste time with all of that of writing critical values, this and that and that. Right, we'll talk about that when I do the reflection. Right, so the next one is what? That one. Okay, in my reading time I said that one is just right, it's making me a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe I haven't trained so much for it. I say I don't want to stress myself at the beginning of the exam, so I'm going to leave it a little bit. Let me do this, which is my routine, which I know. So what am I going to do? I am going to stick with the simplest leading variable when it doesn't have a coefficient that is less than, that is greater than 1. So that's what I'm going to make my first equation. Then what about my second equation? My second equation, I'm going to rearrange it a little bit. I'm going to say this 7, I want to bring it this side. Okay, so this will be my second equation. Then I'm going to sub the first one into the second one. Then what am I subbing? I am subbing a y, isn't it? Okay, so it means my x's just remain the same. Then I have a 2x minus 1 there. Then I have a y. Right, so this is where simultaneous equation can be tricky, because you can get mixed up, just like I almost became mixed up. Okay, right, so we had 2 x's. Did I leave them out? Yes. Okay, we had 2 y's. They have been subbed, isn't it? Okay, now I can start to expand. So I'll have an x squared minus 2x squared plus x. Then I have a 4x. Then I have a 2x, and then I have a negative 4x. Then I have a 1. Then I have a negative 7. Okay, right, let's see what all of that gives us. Right, so here I have a, let's see, I have a negative x squared. Right, sometimes it will look funny when you start and you say, oh, why do I start with a negative now? Right, this one cancels that one. That also looks funny, isn't it? Okay, then I have this one. Then these two give me a negative what? Negative 6, isn't it? Equals to 0. Right, it doesn't look nice for me. So I am going to have what? X squared minus x plus negative 6. Right, so I am worried about something here. Did I copy this properly? I did. Right, I have an x squared. I have minus xy plus y squared. Then minus 7. Then I said 2x minus 1. Then 2x minus 1, that is negative 2x squared. Then what do I have? I have a 4x squared. There we are. You see. Oh, you see. Also, our first together. And me also, my first with you. You see what is happening there. I'm also rusty. Right. So, this is 4x squared. There it is. Then I have a negative 2x 4x positive. Right, now I am starting to be okay. Now if I have a 4x squared and a what is it, a x squared, so I have a 5x squared, then it means here I have a 3x squared. Okay, right, now I had cancelled those x initially when I wasn't supposed to. So this one and that one gives me a negative 3x. Okay, right. So that is a negative 3x. Okay, right. I like that I'm starting with these mistakes so that you can also see that with simultaneous, these can happen and you don't stress, you don't panic, you don't waste time, you don't go back and start and right, you'll mess up your exam. All right, so I don't have any other factors for 2 except 2 and what? 2 and 1, isn't it? Okay, and then I want the negative there. Then I have x is equals to negative 1 or x is equals to 2. Okay, right, so you will encounter this. Then we must look for our first y. So I am going to multiply the x by 2 minus 1. The other one will be again 2 minus 1. Then what is going to happen now? I am going to put the negative 1 there, and then I'm going to put the 2 there. Then I will have a negative 3, and I will have a 3. Okay, then I'll be done. Right, so 11 minutes for this one. I say now, okay, now I must go back to that other one that I started with, which was what? Which was 1.1. And what did I do? I skipped this one, isn't 2x minus 6x, 6, 2 to the x. Right, let's copy it there. Right, so it is after my inequality. So in my exam, in my booklet, I left the space for this. Then I say, okay, now let me try to navigate my way here and try to get how many marks? Some marks from that 4, isn't it? Okay, if not the whole 4. But when you are my member, you are going to get all of this because you are going to remember that my power laws in exponents taught me that can be represented as a power raised to a power. Then I can see that something is coming clearer here. Then I can say, okay, I'm gonna go back to my what is it? My grade 10. You remember, let t is equals to 2x, or let k is equals to 2x, which we call k method. So you can use any variable. So I will have a 6t minus 16 equals to 0. Then I say, alrighty, this is an equation. Okay, and I know my numbers, 8 and 2, 16 and 1, 4 and 4, but I need an 8 and a 2 because they can give me a difference of 6. Okay, and I want my negative there. So it means I can say my t is negative 2, or my t is equals to 8. Then what do? I said my t is 2 to the x, so it means 2 to the x is what? Is 8. Then I say, all right, I thought this thing was going to be a monster. It is not. Then I use my rules of exponents from grade 10. X is equals to 3. Then I'm done. Okay, right. So up to here, I'm 13 minutes. All right. So this is up to 1.2. You can check your clock and see if you agree with me that I'm on 13 minutes or so. Okay, right, let's just reflect a bit. Okay, I said don't stress about this one because it is not part of my initial training of preparing you for exams. Okay, these are not routine, they will always change sometimes. This one also changes 1.4, so the 1.3 and 1.4, they do change. Okay, and these ones also change, the exponential equations. Okay, so we also are going to expose ourselves to different types of these so that we don't get too surprised like I was surprised. Okay, right, so this is our first one. For 20 marks, I took 13 minutes. Right, so that 13 minutes could have been reduced if I had also reduced some of the mistakes. Okay, so I chose not to do another video because I want you to learn from these mistakes. If I am going to be too perfect, then you are not going to be confident when you get to your exams. Okay, right. So if you have matched my time or you are better, wonderful. Right. So my beginning of my reflection, the things that would take your time is the inability to factorize using this method, factorization method. Okay, right. Practice your numbers, guys. All right, take your numbers, any number on your own when you are sitting. Just take a 20. Then say, right, 1 goes with 20, 2 goes with 10, 3, no, 4 goes with what? 5. Am I done? Like that. You take a 24, same thing. Say 1 and 24. Then you say 2 goes with what? 12. 3 goes with what? 8. Yes. Then is 4 applicable? Yes. 4 goes with what? With 6. Then in your head you play around with these things. Okay, this one can give me a 25 and a 23 if I add them or subtract them. This one can give me a 14. Then when you get to your exams, you are not going to waste time with this. So just imagine you are writing this quadratic formula for that simple thing, which you can do in 30 seconds. Then you get to this one, you are also doing the same thing. It's going to consume your time. Okay, so when you have time before your exams, you still have lots of time. Right, consider this. Okay, the other thing that wastes time is this thing. All right, x minus 5 is equals to 0, or x plus 4 is equals to 0. Right, that's grade 10, guys. Okay, it is helpful in the sense that it can assist you not to make mistake when you get here, when you get your final roots, because sometimes some learners take that negative to along and put it there, and they take that positive along. Okay, so I don't mind this because it's a few seconds, but those 30 seconds that you spend doing this and this, right, they can amount to 1 minute, all right, which will be regretful if you don't finish your paper, and you know that there are some marks that you could have got if you had done some speed work. Okay, right, then what did I do here? I didn't write minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. That's grade 10 stuff, guys. Okay, that's grade 10 stuff. You are now in grade 12. Look at what has happened there. Okay, what is the mark allocation? 2 marks. You can't waste time and put too many things for 2 marks. 3 marks. You can't. Okay, right. Then there, maybe they just wanted to catch us there. Okay, right. Let's talk about that one, which is what? Which is our inequality. Okay, right. I've done separate videos for all of these. Okay, so this one, right, I've already done it here, so I'm sure you can pick up from what I've done, what happened there. We were using the K method. Then there, what did I do? So check the video where I discuss, what is it? A quick method to go to your solutions quickly. Okay. When you know your functions, and you know it's the positive gradient and the negative gradient, you would know where it is positive, negative, okay, negative, positive. Then you would be able to see what is it that they are looking for. Okay, and for positive solutions, they are above my x-axis. They are above that x-axis, and those solutions would be on the left and the right. Check that video. So I don't waste time when I get to this. Okay, then I also don't waste time by saying critical values. Then I say change that into equals to 0. Then I do 5x minus 1 is equals to 0. X minus 4 is equals to 0. Right. Grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, 11, we did all of that to train ourselves about balancing an equation and how do you get to your, what is it, additive inverse. Okay, right, my inverse there is a multiplicative inverse. So 5, the inverse of 5 is what? It's 1 over 5. And what is the opposite of negative? It's a plus. Okay. What is the additive inverse there? A positive 4. There it is. Then all I do is the small one, I put it on the left hand side. Okay. Right. So check that video. I think I do go thoroughly on this example and then another example. Okay, right, then we did up to 1.1.4 when I went back after doing what? After doing this. Okay, then there, as you saw, okay, first video, I'm sure you also were grumpy somewhere there. Right, so I also like the fact that I was rusty and grumpy. I think you saw how I recovered. Okay, you saw what mistake I made. When you do your subs, do not forget to put your powers. Okay, so I forgot to do what? That. Okay, so maybe there can be an argument that in order not to mess up, when you get here, you can do that. Okay, so I have trained myself not to be able to waste time doing this, because from here now I must do what? I must do my 4x squared, then I must do my negative 2x, then I must do my other negative 2x, then I must do a plus 1, then I must add. Right, that's a minute or so, which I try to avoid. Okay, right, so the only catch is when you make such mistakes. But when you train, when it's no longer your first video, as it is with this one, you will find that you get back into your groove. Okay, so when you do this without this process, you square that one, 4x squared, you square that one, 1. You multiply these two, negative 2x, you double them, they give you negative 4x, you are done. Okay, then everything else follows. Okay, you saw how I recovered with all of that. Okay, right, so now I'm on 23 minutes for our first lesson. What else can I close with? Right, I will close with the fact that we did not do these ones. When you are sharp in your exam and you know your nature of roots, this one you can also do. Okay, this one maybe you can also do during your exams. You can do that part inside. You will see in the video when I talk about it that instead of losing those 4 marks, you can do some of the things that you remember. Then the part where you have to address the requirement of the entire paper can come later. Okay, right. But however, my training, when I start, I focus on time management when it comes to these ones. Okay, 1.1 and 1.2 our routine questions. So those ones, don't stress too much. We'll get into them because they require me to go back into all the characteristics of roots, the types and the conditions and so forth. Okay, righty. So our first one, and I hope it is giving you the spirit to really take your preparation seriously, as well as the confidence that you are on the track. You still remember some of the things, you got some of them correct or all of them. Nice one. Okay, then you were able to clarify this one which was a bit fuzzy. Good. Okay, right, so we will check the next task and see how we will do with time. Alrighty, keep working hard.